starting. Okay, I got it going on my side. Um, Come on, starting. Looks like it's taking its sweet time. Okay, yeah, now it's finally going. All right. How are you?
How am I? I'm great. Ow, I passed my exam, so I'm officially an LCSW.
I was gonna ask if I saw on your email LCSW. Not that. Oh,
Yes, I did. And it was, oh
yes,
my
that's
gosh.
fabulous.
Yeah,
That
I was so nervous.
oh yeah.
And I walked in, and literally, so I take Ritalin to help me concentrate. And I literally skipped my Ritalin.
Oh
And like
no,
in
no,
the
no.
morning, I skipped it in the morning. My exam was in the afternoon. I was just like, I'm gonna pop this right before I go.
Oh, you did it on purpose.
I did it on purpose. And technically, Ritalin is one of those that you can take as a PRN. I don't have to take it like as like on the like in the morning. So I took it right as I was going in. And I also learned that you should not take Ativan before an exam.
Yes, I remember that from last time.
Otherwise, I would have passed the first time.
That's right, because she was like, I took too much Ativan. Oh, so chill.
It was. I was like sitting there, like, I was just like,
Oh,
am I
I guess I gotta
dissociating?
get through a test.
Exactly, exactly. I was like, am I like dissociating? I was like sleepy. I had a hard time concentrating, and my psychiatrist told me that don't ever do that again
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it cancels out the Ritalin, and it's like a tranquilizer, I guess. So like, it just made me
Ah,
so chill.
oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, the power of meds. They can do wonderful things or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, exactly. But I was so happy
Yes.
because like I mean, I knew I could do it or whatever it was, but
Oh
like
yeah, well, yeah, because you passed school. You know, if you can pass
yeah.
school, you can pass this, but it's just a whole different level of stress, But
Yeah, it was. And it was really validating to know because I needed 103 to pass and I passed at 116.
100 and what?
116. So I scored well above what I needed.
Well above. Well above. Very good.
I knew I could do this because this is
Yes.
what I was scoring on practice exams. I would score between 110 to like 110 to like 121. Like that was
Yeah,
like my
that was
practice
your
exam
secret
score.
window. Yeah. Oh, good for you. Because I
Yeah,
hate those tests.
I do
Because I'm
too.
sitting there going, I don't even know if I could pass that after 30 years experience, because they're so
No.
and they're written in such tricky ways, and then part of the problem, some of the practice exams, you go, oh well, what about this situation, what about this situation, and then if this happens in that, then if that happens in that, and they give you like four words and you're trying to figure out which way did they interpret that, and it's
Yeah.
I
It's
hate.
yeah, it's so textbook and it's hard. It's like but in reality you're not going to do this.
Yeah,
There's no realistic situation where you're going to stop what you're doing in the middle of a session and be like, I have to make a report right now. It's like that's not how that works. Like,
no, and that's what they want you to do. Oh well, yeah, we never do that.
right, because it's a safety issue. If like they tell you about like child abuse or neglect, right? Like the first, it's a number one thing is safety. So you're like, you're not realistically, you're not going to stop a session and be like, you know what, Betty, I have to make a report right now because you told me this. And it's like, no, you would first process, you would talk about what they said, and then you would make the report. You're not
Well,
going
for
to,
and for that matter, you would be using the entire session to get as much information as possible. Because
before making the report.
yes, before making the report, like you wouldn't stop at that moment and say, "Well, oh, you said something. I got to call." Never in a million years. You got to
Exactly.
you've got to get the whole story or as much as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, but I used all of these like exactly. So I used all of these different like YouTube videos and things like that. And there's this guy, Phil, like the way he breaks down like questions makes it so simple. Like he broke it down in like five parts of the question analysis. And once you know how to what the question stem is asking based on the five parts, like it's like who are you, what's your setting, who's your client, what are they asking you to do, and and what are they presenting with? If you can answer those questions based on like first and most and reasoning basis, then you can come to the like you wouldn't even need like a lot of like social work. You can use your basic social work knowledge to answer that question.
Oh, good.
So that's what I did, and I
It worked.
And it worked, and I passed, and I never have to worry about anything ever again.
That's right. And when was this happy day? How long ago was that?
December 3rd, so it's very recent.
December 3rd. Y'all were just like a week ago. Wow. Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
So you took your test and then you found out on the 3rd, or you took your test on the 3rd?
On the 3rd.
And you find out right away?
Yeah, it comes up on the screen. As soon as you hit submit, it'll tell you passed. And then they give you a printout once you leave the exam room. And it'll give you a printout of like what to do next. And then that's when it shows you your result, that it's like, congratulations, you passed. And then it'll say like, you needed this much to pass and this is how much you scored.
Wow. Oh, see, it's all fancy since I went to school. We all did paper and pencil, and there was no such thing as internet when I went to school.
So yeah, I mean,
they could do whatever.
I mean, there was an internet until I turned like 13. 13, and that too, we had like dial up, and then when I was like in high school, that's when like we started to get high speed, which is great, I guess. I lived that childhood, the best childhood possible, where I played outside.
There you go. You were the last generation that got to play outside.
Yes, play outside, and these kids don't know what that looks like.
Oh, what do you mean play outside? How do I get my...
Yeah, they look at cassettes and VCRs and be like, what is this? Oh my God, this is so vintage. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, you child, you.
Vintage. What about 8 tracks?
Walkman.
Even know what those things are, yeah.
Floppy disks. They don't know. Now that is like the OG. That's what I had to save my papers on and hand it in.
Hey, speaking of your Chicago shirt, I'm just looking at that. You know what? It's not 100% set yet, but I had that P4 conference in Phoenix last year. They are talking about having it in Chicago this year.
I will come. I will come. That seems a little bit more convenient.
They are the conference. It's the same conference coordinator. Okay. It's a long story for her, but because I said to her, she said, "Where do you want to have it?" And I said, "That's up to you. You're the one in charge of all that. I just got to show up and talk." And she used to live in Chicago apparently, and has a lot of my people from the farm are in the Northeast, and so they got a lot of requests afterwards to make it more Northeast. Like they wanted it a little more central, so more people, instead of it being a lopsided into a different side of the country. So they said Northeast. And I thought, well, Chicago's not exactly Northeast, but sort of. And so it's a little closer to that, sort of central, but sort of Northeast. And so
like a good location.
She said, yeah, she had contacts there, and she would see if she could figure that out for Chicago. And I said, beautiful. So I see your Chicago shirt. Oh yeah, I know people in Chicago too.
yeah, it works.
Right, I know people.
I'm looking forward to that. I will come. I'm always looking.
Well, you will get plenty of notice ahead of time for what weekend it is, but probably somewhere in September, I think. But yeah, still early days. We'll see what venue she finds and blah 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 blah. But anyway.
It could be probably the Rosemont Center, because that's usually where all the conferences and like conventions and everything is, like at the McCormick.
I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out there, because like that's usually where people throw, unless it's at a hotel, then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know, because I've only been there for a conference, and I couldn't even tell you where that was because I don't remember. It's been enough years. But it will be a small place. It won't be anything fancy because it will, and hopefully COVID won't be in a problem. We still don't even know if COVID will be an issue for us at that point in time. But we will see. We will see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully that wouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
So how you passed your test, you've got 1,000 things happening, you've got your still got your people, but you're thinking maybe
I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I really don't know. What's really funny is that, like, I was in session. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last. It was last week. Yes. Yes. I have to think about it. I was like, yeah, I was either it was last week or something. Yeah, it was last week. I was telling my therapist Mallory, I was like, I don't think I have DID. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm just like my body's having a freak out.
So inside was going bam, 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 bam.
Pretty much.
You think you don't have DID? What about take this? Boom, take this, boom.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like I was sitting there, I was just like, yeah, I don't like I haven't switched because I moved back to my parents, which has been great because like
Okay, because you were with your brother, so now you're back with your parents.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's been fine. Like, they leave me alone for the most part, like because I'm working, so I have my own room, I have my own space. It's great. And but yeah, so I was telling Mallory, I was like, I haven't switched. I haven't felt like, you know, felt like dressing up as another person or like nobody or like another alter. Nobody's told me that I need to or anything like that. And I was telling her this and I was like, I don't think I have DID. And all of a sudden, literally, I'm like getting lightheaded. I'm having a hard time staying present. Like I'm getting dizzy.
Love it. Good job inside.
And I had to put my head down. And literally, I had a session right afterwards. So Mallory's like, do you want to end the session early so you can get yourself grounded? And I was like, I was like, yes. And then literally I go into session and it's like nothing ever happened. I'm sitting here, I'm grounded, I'm present, like I'm being a clinician. And then I'm out of session and all of a sudden it's back. And I'm just like, seriously?
So okay, we'll let you work. Go to work. Okay, we're back.
Pretty much. It was a very tough Thursday. I was just like, damn it, like why? Why?
Well, because you said you didn't think you had DID, which means they didn't exist. So they were proving their point that we are here, and just because we've been quiet for a little bit doesn't mean we went away.
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly. And Mallory made a good point. Mallory was just like, well, she said that what if like because the level of stress you're experiencing right now is so low that they don't feel the need to be present. Like you're not in any danger right now. Like you're not like because like work is fine. I bitched them out because I did because of like their lack of like their negligence and incompetence leading me to be here at my parents. And I'm so thankful for that with my parents. But like, so I bitched them out. So like everything's resolved at work. I'm done with my exam. And yeah, actually those are the two main stressors, right? So once I moved back home, I wasn't financially stressed out. And the only thing that was stressing me out was this exam. And now that I've passed, I'm fine. So they're kind of just there, but they're not there, I'm assuming, because they let me know on Thursday. Yeah.
Well, maybe everybody's just gone like, oh, okay. Like it's kind of like a big chapter is finished. Finally, that exam has been on your, on your head for months. I don't even know how many months and months now.
Since August, well, yeah, well,
at least August.
Since August, because that's when I was supposed to take it and be done with it. So since August, and to be fairly honest, this time around, I took a very chill approach. I didn't stress out as much. I studied, but I didn't study. I like would review some stuff. I would take some practice questions, and that's all I did. And the reason being is because I prepared so much around in August that my memory was so fresh that I was just like,
Okay. Good.
So I was just like, whatever. So, and surprisingly enough, they were present, but they weren't present. And even during the exam, like it was so weird. Like I was nervous until like I walked in to the exam room, and then all of a sudden it was kind of like, I'm here, I could do this. And literally like, I don't know, it was just kind of like, I don't know what happened where I like I didn't zip through the exam because I used all of the time. But it was almost kind of just like, I don't know if Anya took like the seat and just like took the exam or what it was. I didn't feel a switch. I don't know. But it was just kind of like I sat through it and all of my panic went away. Typically when I take exams, um, I'm usually fidgeting. I'm usually like my legs are restless, and to my knowledge, I wasn't doing any of that.
Well, then probably Anya was there because I've seen Anya, right? And I mean, or it may have even been Anya at 51% or 52,
Right.
55%. So that your knowledge and her knowledge were both there, but she was in control of the body just to keep things calm.
Probably.
You know, like, so a melding of the two of you. So it's not that you were gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she is calmer, I think, in her presentation. She is calmer, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah. She usually sits up like this, right? And I think, to my knowledge, she usually sits up like this versus me. I'm more crouched.
Yeah.
From what I've not like
Yeah.
like from what like watching back the other videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was wearing this like necklace that was like this like wearable air diffuser thing, and I didn't even need that, which was very interesting. So
An air diffuser, which was to.
yeah, it's like those like the jewelry where you can put like an essential oil, and if you need like you can like smell it to keep you grounded and stuff.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I ordered one off Amazon just to be on the safe side, so that like to not use the Ativan, because we know that wasn't that's not conducive to what I needed to do.
Right.
So other grounding skills and things like that. So I took that in with me, and I think I don't even think I used it once. I think I smelled it like once or twice, but that was it.
Well, and maybe that's as much as anything is you did the grounding and the no Ativan, but yes, Ritalin and the physical things just to help calm you, so that you think, because it's not like you don't know the material, like it's what you said.
Exactly.
You know the material, you know the answers, you've been passing the practice tests, you've been studying, you know the information. It's just a matter of being calm enough to answer the questions. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
That's excellent. So does it change, does that change work at all for you in terms of you or how you it's also holidays, so I mean everybody's schedule is weird at this time of month of the year, but
I mean now it's just like I don't have to meet with my supervisor anymore because I'm fully licensed,
okay.
right? So I don't have to meet with her, which opens up an hour or so of my time, and I have a little bit more freedom, meaning like now I can get credentialed with other insurance boards and things like insurance places. If I want to leave the practice, it's easier for me to find another job and things like that. If that's how it helps work, I get paid a little bit more, but a 5% increase, if you think about it, is not much, at least living in the States.
It's not much, but I mean, hey, it's at least 5% more instead of 5% less.
Yes, it is, and it's $500 more. So I mean, $500 does make a difference. They're still incompetent though. They kept making, so we had a meeting in November, beginning or end of November, and I totally just like chewed them out at the meeting because I was like, this is beyond the point of reason where you tell me, sorry, like our child doesn't have a babysitter because it's COVID and we have one of us have to be the present because in kindergarten, we're doing this and we're this and that's why we're shorthand. That's why billing is delayed. I was like, I understand. Like I didn't say this, I thought it, but I was just like, I understand all of that, but like you're an employer. Like that's not my fault. That's not my
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like
mean,
you have employees.
it's crazy for everybody, but still, you need your billing done for all the reasons you need your billing done.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just said it out loud in front of the other clinicians. And thankfully, the other clinicians were experiencing the same thing, and we had a group chat. So I knew that the other clinicians were experiencing the same thing, but I'm also very outspoken. So I just got to a point where I was just like, listen, this is beyond like excuses. Like I need to know and I need to know answers. So what are you actually going to do about this? Because I lost a home because of this. I can't eat, I can't sleep. I'm losing hair. I've lost a lot of weight. I look a lot more healthier right now because I've been living with my parents, so they make sure I eat and make sure that I get sufficient rest and stuff, which is absolutely wonderful. And they kind of almost gaslit me, and I was like, and I said it too. I was like, I don't appreciate like being spoken to this way because this doesn't answer my question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's gotten to a point where even in individual supervision, because she wanted to talk to me because I was very heated. And she's just like, I want to validate you. I hear your concerns and things like that. And, we are making every effort. And I was just like, I hope you are, because I literally lost a home. I lost all of my coping skills. My biggest one with like kickboxing. Like how that's not acceptable. Like that is absolutely, I lost my sense of independence. And living with my parents, they live in the suburbs. I don't have a car. So I'm literally cooped up in my home 24/7.
Oh dear. Yeah.
In my room because I'm working all day and then I have like a few hours in between, but I can't go anywhere. And they're like, she was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, we're trying this and that. We're spending lots of money and this and that. I was just like,
and they just weren't doing the billing. Is that what the problem is?
Pretty much. They were just neglecting it, and they were like not verifying the insurances appropriately. So clients were getting stuck with bills, and like then they were like, oh, like it's the clinician's responsibility. It's not my responsibility. You would take 40% out of my paycheck so that you could do the billing. Why is it my responsibility?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And it's just like all this stuff. And like it got me to a point where I literally had to tell her, I was like, if this happens again, then I'm going to be forced to make a decision that I don't want to make. And I followed that up with saying, like, that means setting a professional boundary and leaving this place because I'm not going to have you guys affect my livelihood any more than it already has.
Yeah.
And the reason I said it that way is because, like, that leaves room for if I want to pursue legally or not.
Yeah.
That's why I said I'm going to be forced to make a decision I don't want to make. So.
Well, do you have very many other? I don't know how the climate is there in Chicago. Do you have many options of? I mean, being trilingual, I would think that gives you a big edge for a lot of things.
It does. And there's a place that wants to hire me that's already made an offer, but they're also going to be paying me 60%. And that would be a 1099 job at 60% versus this place where I'm a W-2 employee, but they still give me 60% and I get health insurance. And they've fixed most of the issues. So that's where like it becomes hard for me because I really need health insurance. Otherwise, seeing a psychiatrist and seeing my therapist twice a week gets super costly. And basically my entire paycheck, like half of my paycheck would go into paying these bills.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you, because your health insurance ends up being tacked on, if you, especially since you're using it, it becomes part of your income, really.
Yeah, and like I literally only pay like $242 every paycheck. Sorry, not every paycheck, monthly. Um, and my like seeing my psychiatrist monthly, with my medications, and now doing family therapy and seeing my therapist twice a week. It's $360 just to see my therapist twice a week for the month. And then
Wow.
seeing the psychiatrist is another $265 for the month because I do hour-long consultations, especially with this new diagnosis. And then seeing a therapist once a week, family therapist, is $165.
Woo.
And all of that literally is, and then my medication is like $10 for the month for
Yeah.
like the Ritalin and the lamotrigine. So like, so that would add up if I didn't have health insurance, because
Oh
that's
yeah.
a lot of money, and all of that is covered through health insurance. Like I pay zero for like my psychiatrist, like any sort of like mental health stuff. I pay $0 right now with that insurance.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what's kind of keeping me there, is because like I have to value what's really important to me right now, and that's my mental health.
Yeah.
At the cost of like, it's not really at the cost of like things because they fixed most of it. So it's kind of like, well, do I want to go to another practice and be a 1099 employee and technically make more, or do I value my health insurance and technically make the same amount with them deducting everything?
Mm-hmm.
And like it ends up being the same technically, because at the end of the year, like I would still have to pay whatever it is as a 1099 employee. But like if I'm a 1099 employee, then I would have to pay for everything out of pocket.
Or you have to buy your own insurance.
Yes, and that's more expensive.
Yeah. That's pretty expensive.
So right now it's like, I'm staying there for what it's worth, and they've made it evidently clear that they don't want to lose me. And
Okay.
they've shown me so much more favoritism from what I can think of and what I've evidenced than any other clinician,
Okay.
which says a lot about me as a clinician.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. Well, it says, I mean, you're obviously keeping clients coming in, and even as a brand new person, you're bringing in enough that they don't want to lose you.
No, like as a brand new clinician and as an as an I was not licensed, and
Yeah.
pre-licensed, I was bringing in so much. So, and
That's awesome.
there were referrals specifically just asking for me. So it's like, I would think that any practice would do anything and everything to keep me.
Yeah. Well, because how did you already start your practice? That, I mean, what is your area like? How did you build your business?
Dissociation and trauma.
Oh no, are you really? Okay, well then you gotta keep your own work done. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Trauma, dissociation, personality disorders. And it all makes sense as to why I'm so interested in dissociation now. It's like everything is just,
Okay.
yeah. That's why I was like, I want to learn more about dissociation, understand myself more. I have a general knowledge of dissociation. And, I try to stay informed by watching videos and stuff like that in terms of degrees of dissociation, what it looks like, and things like that. So, but because I offer a niche with being trilingual, my interest in personality disorders and trauma, they very much are like, we don't want to lose you. And then they have plans of opening up another practice within the next year and a half. And they're like, if you stay long enough, we want to make you the clinical director at that place.
That's exciting.
So
That's exciting. So they want to keep you, and they just say just keep going. And then
pretty much.
by the time they build that, you'll have your years of experience, because you know
Yes.
you need to have your years of experience behind you, and
Yeah.
you'll learn more and more and more from the people you work with than you did from school. Believe me, you'll
Yeah.
learn a lot
Yeah.
more from the people you work with than from school.
Yeah, exactly. And like they're willing to pay for any and every training that I want. Like they specifically asked me to get trained in EMDR and they're going to pay for it.
Well, hey, girl, you can say I need a consultation with that Kathy Brody chick when it comes to dissociation.
Touche.
When it comes to your clients,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I mean, we could separate your personal stuff separate, but when it comes to your clients, I mean, if they want training with somebody, you can say, hey, I could, because who knows, why couldn't they cover that?
I'm gonna bring that up and see what they say. I'm pretty sure they would not be opposed to it.
There you go. Because we can have specific times where we talk about your clients and how can you address that with your clients. And then,
Yeah.
well, I worked with the lady for the longest time doing that. Well, in fact, at the conference, there was really what I want to do, and I'll just mention this to you. It's going to happen at some point. I don't know when, but this is why I was going to Hawaii to look. I think probably maybe not that place. I don't know, but I want to have like a week-long retreat, at least a week long, maybe 2 weeks, depending on the time, or 10 days anyway, specifically for therapists, like in your shoes, therapists who are DID or dissociative, who work with trauma. Like those are my girls. I want girls, come here, girls. Like the dissociative therapists.
Yeah.
Because that's such. Not only are they dealing with trauma themselves in your workload, but you are dissociative yourself, and it's that double whammy of where do I get my own help when I'm trying to do this at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm looking towards. It might not be till 2022 now at this point, but I'm still looking at building a retreat thing for my DID therapists.
I think that'd be great. I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
I would totally be there.
Specifically for my girls who have that double whammy, because there's so few places to go in terms of when you've got both ends of the stick. But hey, let's do it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, or just like still at work, sometimes I'm noticing that I have such a hard time being a therapist while I'm in session.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not countertransference or anything. It's more kind of just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what to say. Like, I have nothing clinical to say right now. And it's literally like you're talking to somebody that's not a therapist.
Mm.
And I'm like struggling very hard to come up with like clinical stuff to say.
Okay. Can you revert back to more questions to ask them in terms to figure out what their issues are? I mean, is this trauma clients, or what type of client are you talking about?
Well, like I don't know if it has to do with my own like DID or like me switching or something like that, right? Because it'd just be anxiety clients, right? But like even as they are talking, it's like nothing is registering for me. And it'd be the most basic stuff where I'd be like, typically I can work around anxiety and I can be like, oh, like, it sounds like you're doing X, Y, and Z of whatever distortion that they're experiencing. And then I usually ask them to challenge it. But even that is hard. Like it would become very hard for me to do because I'd be like sitting there and I'd just be like, literally like have a blank stare on my face. And I would just ask a question. I remember specifically this one time, I would just ask a question that's like super unrelated. Or I'd ask them a question and then they'd be like, I just said that.
Oh. Okay. So then you are getting a little bit of that happening. Yeah. All right. So is it that I mean, are you? Is it you, Perry, or Anya trying to do the sessions? Like, how are you trying to? How are you trying to manage it? Like what? Or
I
do you
have
have
to.
a set process that you're doing in terms of when you go to work? Because you're doing how many hours, like clinical hours a week now? Well, it's going to vary. It's going to
I
change in
had a
January. But
yeah. It's gonna increase. I had a drop in clients, so I have 20 right now, 7 to 20. Sorry, 17 to 20
that's still a lot.
23.
That's at least an hour each, right?
Yeah, some are 45 minutes, but about 45 to 50 minutes.
But still, that's, let's call it at least an hour. I mean,
Yeah.
that's still a lot. That's still a lot of hours that you're focusing on somebody else and their stuff. So, and that's person after person after person. Oh, what's
Almost, yeah.
happening? What's happening? I see this
Oh, this
headache.
is just me scratching my eyes. Like I have like eye boogers right here, so this is just me like scratching my eyes.
Okay, so
But
that's
I
not.
am experiencing a little bit of a headache right now,
Yeah. So
like right here.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Up there. So what's happening? What's the headache? Where's it coming from?
I have no idea. I don't know if it could be from the headphones. I also have oil in my hair, and my hair is tied. So I don't know if it's from there, but it's like right here.
Okay, we'll have a listen. Is there somebody trying to? I'm asking about work stuff. Is that a question from somebody else, or are they upset we're talking about work stuff and they want to talk about something else?
Why the hell is my head pounding? Right here.
Uh, okay, why is the head pounding? I understand what. Can someone explain to us why the head is pounding?
Oh my gosh.
What are you hearing?
I'm not hearing anything. I'm just getting very lightheaded. It's hard to
Okay,
keep my head up.
okay, okay. Who's coming through? I'm gonna ask if somebody trying to come through.
Hello, who's
No,
here?
who's here?
I don't know. Who are you? Why are
And
you here?
what do you want? I think someone was coming close. That's why I noticed that. So if you want to come say something to me, you're allowed. You're welcome to join us, so join me or join us, whichever way it is.
I've been pretending to be Nala.
You're going to start pretending to be Nala?
No, I'm saying I've been pretending to be Nala.
You're pretending to be Nala. Right
Yes.
now,
No, I'm telling you I've been pretending to be Nala.
you have been. Yeah, I
Yes.
saw that. You wrote that.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Pretending to be Nala.
Um. Um. So I told this guy about my DID, and I would pretend to switch to Nala,
Mm-hmm.
and we introduced ourselves as Nala, or and then told them about Naya and Anya and Tina, and sent them pictures of the three of us. And for some reason, I felt the desire to say there are 15 of us.
15? Mm-hmm. All right. And what happened?
Nothing.
Well, do you think there's 15 of you?
I don't know. I just said 15.
Okay. Okay. But we know there's Nala, Naya, and Tina.
You forgot Kenny and Anya and Priya.
Right. Well, I thought you just mentioned the three, that you told him of the three. Yeah, there's
Oh.
Nala. Gosh, I don't know. Nala, Naya, Tina, Priya. So I can't spell all your names.
Priya.
Why? Priya.
Anya is Aanya, and then Naya is Naya. Nala is Nala.
And Tina is Tina, Tina.
Yes, and Kenny.
And who's the funny boy that laughs?
Cheeto boy.
That's right.
Cheeto boy.
Yes.
Um.
Yes. Okay, so that's still the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 I have plus
Pari.
Pari.
7.
So 7.
But there's 15. But there's 15.
Okay. Well, there might be 15.
Yeah.
But where are you getting that?
I don't know.
All right. Where does it feel like they're telling you that? Like
the brain.
The brain? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So do you see anyone? Do you feel anyone?
They're shadows.
Okay. Well, they can surface when they want to, when they're ready. How comfortable are you to knowing more? I mean, how comfortable do you feel with the 6 or 7 you already know compared to having more people surface? Because I read I read the email that says, "Oh, I'm just faking it." I read that email. That's my words for what was being said, but I can pull. You wrote that actually quite some time ago because you've waited for me a very long time. Thank you very much. But you have before we could actually have this call.
Yeah, I mean, I figured because it was the holiday time, so I was like, it's still fine.
Yeah, thank you. So there we go, though, because it was that's even what you said in the email. I'm looking at it right now. It says, I keep pretending to be Nala, but don't fully feel like I'm her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Rereading this, I'm just like, what the fuck? This is embarrassing. Hello. What is wrong with me?
What are you embarrassed about?
Like, there's like this, just like the context of like this charade of just like the way like everything is written, because that's usually what goes on in my head. And that's why I keep saying it's like OSDD, or like I don't feel like there is DID, right? Because like it's, I don't know.
Well, does it matter at the moment? If we put a label on it, does that matter? Because does that matter?
No. I guess like I know that DID presents differently for a lot of people. I think that it would be very more convincing for me if like I just had a textbook dissociative episode.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, well, I mean that might be the level of the splitting anyway. It might be those sort of things, or it could be that you're still in early enough days and early enough time in terms of getting your life calm enough that they can actually come out and be themselves. I mean, or it just could be that you always have maybe right now you have a fair bit of co-consciousness, and that's with your first main 5 or 6, you might have a lot of that co-consciousness, so it makes them feel a little less separate from you. However, let's say if you do have this 15 and there are the 9 or whatever others in the shadows, potentially you could be switching more like a more distinct switch to other parts. But these first ones, it might be that's very fluid. Doesn't mean you're not DID. It could be these are the ones you work with all the time, and so you're like we're close together because we're at the top, we're here, we're front, this is one layer, but you could have other layers that are more separate from you, and you might get that more type switching.
That's honestly, that's what I want. I like desperately want that because like that's what's gonna validate me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I know that sounds so like because I don't know, like I keep asking you the same questions, like why do I do what I do? Like why do I do what I do? Because
well, why do you do what you do?
yeah, why do I do what I do? Like why?
Yeah.
Yeah, like why was there a need for me to write the email that I did to you, right? Like in the consultation. Because it's always this underlying issue of like, why do I feel the desire? Why do I feel the need? And I know that you can just tell me that like it's probably because like you are that person or that you are that alter at that time, and like denial is very common, so like you're constantly going back and forth. But I'm having such a hard time just like validating myself and believing myself because like I'm constantly just a host, and like when I hear and watch videos and see videos and things like that, and I go through these things, I don't feel as though like my experiences are very much like their own.
You don't feel like your experiences are like their own? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like the experiences of like those YouTube channels that I would watch, and like all of these different all of these like.
But not everybody. I mean, I've met hundreds and hundreds of dissociative people. Okay, and I promise you, not everybody presents the same. I promise you. I promise you. That doesn't mean you're not dissociative. I mean, I was talking to a girl yesterday who primarily she's the main front person, and her people don't come out very much. They can, but they don't much because that's just the way she manages her system. So she doesn't overtly switch hardly at all, but she has a massive inside world, and she knows all the people, and they can come. She's learning all the people. They can come out at certain times. Primarily, she stays out front. There's a wall, and then they stay inside. But there's no doubt that she's DID. But she doesn't overtly switch. Very, very rarely does she switch much. But that's how she did it. Then I could. There's another person that I work with that you can't get her to not switch. She's switching every 5 minutes now, and it's a pretty continuous flow. And she knows what happens from minute to minute, but it's a constant switching. It's just completely opposite, presentation. And then other people will be this blendy thing where they're here and they see. I think my understanding of you so far is that you're a fair bit of that. If Perry doesn't go away too much, but other people come up with her. So when Nala's with you, it feels like this. When Free is with you, it feels like this. When Kitty's with you, it feels like this.
Okay.
But you stay, as Perry, you might stay present.
Okay.
And there was a girl I worked with for years was really frustrated with that because that was how it was for her too.
Okay.
And I think probably in some ways that can be one of the most frustrating ways because it's like, well, I don't think I'm losing time. What makes you think I'm DID even though I feel different? But I'm still here, but I'm not. And it turns out her loss of time was a little bit different than other people. So it can, what I'm saying, that's an equal. It's just different for different people, and so just because you see someone on YouTube doesn't mean you're going to present like that.
Okay.
And then there's the people who switch.
Yeah.
You know,
Have you tried kickboxing? You're doing great.
it's exactly like that. And but not everybody does that. It would be in some ways lovely if they did, but then those people have a lot of trouble building communication with their parts. So I mean, it's not all great. They can see the real clear DID, but they have a lot of trouble being able to talk to each other because they're so separate from each other. So it comes with other problems.
Okay.
Where you guys, you're kind of this little spaghetti plate, right? You know, you're all tangled up together a little bit, and so you don't like, well, who is who, and blah blah blah. But you can talk to each other, but yet you still don't know how distinct you are. But over time, you'll be able to pull out a little bit more who is separate from who. But it is still a dissociative way of being. Yeah, because there's not. Yeah, that's if that helps to relieve your worries. There's there's not one distinct way to have to be.
Okay. I did order contacts for them though. So there are,
Contact.
yeah, because they all have different eye colors.
Oh, fantastic! So like a blue eye or a green eye or whatever. So they have those contacts where you can put in,
Hmm.
and
They
it
are,
changes your
yeah,
eye color.
yeah. They're also prescription because I need to see. So, um, I need to see. So they're prescription glasses or sorry, contacts. So I ordered a pair of green eyes, and then I ordered a pair of 2 different shades of gray eyes.
Well,
So,
at some point before you go in the ordering anymore, I would encourage them to have their own eye exam because they may or may not have the same vision as you. Did you know
how
that
do I
one?
do
Well, for example, um,
that?
depends on how much you want to tell your eye doctor, or if you want to do it separately, different eye doctors. But you, like, if you say, okay, Nala, I know when you come out, who wants to wear the green eyes? Who's that?
um, Naya.
Naya. Okay. So, for example, I would say, I mean, check the contacts. Hopefully, the colors will be okay. But if the prescription still doesn't work for them, it could very well be that Naya has her own shape of eye, different from you. So she would need to, if you really want her to have her own eyes in for a while, you would need Naya to go to an eye doctor and have it be Naya 100% in the chair to get Naya's eyes, her vision, and see what she sees best, and then order contacts specifically for her. Because I think quite sure there's been studies done that show that different parts inside can have different eyes and different vision. So it's not
Yeah.
just the color. It can. That's why so many people have different pairs of glasses. I need glasses. I don't. I do. I don't. Yeah, and different glasses work for different people because somehow in this amazing sense, the eyes actually can be different. It's crazy, huh? I don't know how that's like wild crazy. I don't even understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. I could try that. That's why I just ordered them in like my prescription because like I tried to ask and there was no communication. It was just kind of like these thoughts would just get us to contacts. And because I'm having such a hard time having such distinct.
The colors are good because at least it's a start, and then you'll know if you're putting in different colors, they're trying to be themselves, you know. What makes it hard for them to be distinct is because Perry's there all the time. Is that part of the problem?
Mhm.
So okay, Perry, can you sit down on the inside? Can they, like when Nala wants to be out? can you actually let her be out and you scoot back? You know how at one time we talked about how someone was sitting over there in a chair and she had her jeans crossed and she had, she had her legs over flopping over and she was in a chair. If she wants to come all the way out, can you, Perry, go back and sit in a chair?
I don't know how. I think you're talking about Nala, right? Nala, she was sitting like this.
Nala sitting. Yeah, there was Nala sitting in jeans and just kind of relaxed and chill and stuff. Yeah. So if Nala wants to come all the way out without Perry there, it would also involve Nala coming out, but Perry going in. And that's what you're having trouble with, is Perry going in.
Yeah. It's just like, it's hard because it's like I don't know how to go in and just like go in the back seat and just let somebody else like drive.
Right. Good analogy. Well, so for whatever reason you need to be there. Is that a problem? I mean, what is the?
That's,
you're finding it a problem. So what are you struggling with that being the case?
Well, that's the problem, right? Because it's like, that's the problem, because it's like, that's why there's like invalidation. It's just like, how technically I could just say I have DID and create all these peace altars, and the DES is self-administered, so I can just say like I'm 90% all the way through, and now wabam, I have DID.
Sort of. I mean, that would just make you a really good actress. You may as well go to Hollywood and get a job.
That's what I wrote about. That's what I wrote about in my journal entry, the one that's specifically for DID that I cannot find right now because it's in one of the boxes and I don't know which box it's in.
Well, because ultimately, Harry, the reason people split, like really split, the legitimate reason why people learn to split is because there's been trauma in childhood. So if you really want to understand the roots of your dissociation, you would have to go back to childhood and go, what happened to me as a kid that I needed to split? Now, you are living in your parents' home. That's not an environment to ask you what happened in your childhood, right? Because right now you're living with your parents. So, or it's going to start triggering you. It's either going to start triggering you or it's going to lock it down, like lock it off from you, because something, dissociation typically happens as in childhood, like before age 7, where enough stuff is happening to the child, the little kid. That means, huh? What's happening?
Well, yeah, but like my parents.
It doesn't start as you're a 30-year-old adult making parts.
Of course, no, of course not. What I guess like this is invalidating on its own, right? Because like it's like, how much trauma is too much trauma to form DID, right? And speaking with Kathy, sorry, you're Kathy.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Who are you talking about?
What's her name? Jennifer, Dr. Wilson.
Oh, that's right. That's the other one. Right.
Yes, I have way too many people on my treatment team, so it's like hard to keep track of all the women.
Yes.
But like, she told me that like, because it was confusing, because I told her, I was just like, my parents were not the perpetrators of my trauma.
Okay.
It was other people that were the perpetrators of my trauma.
Okay. As in what relationship did they have to the other people, like neighbors, brothers, aunts, uncles?
Family, friends. so they were my cousin's best friend.
Okay.
But like my parents viewed them because we lived in India, so like mostly in India, like it's always like an open door, so like you just come and go as you please, kind of a thing, right? So like, and we lived in a joint household, so like my uncle's house was here and our house was here. So they like my cousin's best friend would just come in and out of like my house all the time, or
Right.
our house. So like it was them, and then that's all I remember. And I know that there was another person, and that was I hate saying, our housekeeper's son. And like our housekeeper, we never treated her as if she was our housekeeper. We always treated her as she was a part of the family. So there was never this distinction that like you're beneath us or anything like that.
Okay.
So, and I was very attached to her. So like I would go to her house and she would take me with her and things like that. And then like I was a very cute child, okay? Like
I'm sure you were.
I mean I was a very, very cute child. Like I had like bigger eyes than what I did now, and like I was a lot more fairer. So I just like was the prettiest baby in the village. And there's no joke about that. Like that's actually so like everybody just kind of wanted to always like play around, like play with me, and like so like her son was one of them, and like I think stuff happened. I don't know. And all of this happened before like the age of 6 and the age of 5. I like from what I remember, because I came here when I was 6.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. And so then life changed for you after 6, because you guys moved from India to Chicago?
Yeah,
Or
we've been in Illinois like our entire life, or like since we've been here. And then I was like, there's some stuff that happened when I was like 11 or 12 here. Yeah. And then that's around the time that like Priya started to show up.
Well, then it sounds to me that probably you have, where are your little ones that are before age 6? Because
And actually, no, Priya started to show up around 8, because I would always pretend like I had a friend named Priya, like my imaginary friend.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
Remember that now. But where are your little ones from India? And what language would they speak?
There are no little ones, because like I haven't discovered them. The only person that like I knew of, like, what?
They're gonna have little ones from India. That's what I'm saying to you. And what language would they speak? Maybe they don't speak English.
I don't know.
Well, what language did you guys speak when you lived in India as a child? What language did you speak?
Gujarati. That was my native tongue, because I learned English when I came here.
Okay. So your native tongue, what you learned as a child, start speaking that back, and I bet you will find your little ones.
Okay.
Because they don't speak English. They might not even understand English, but if you're truly dissociative, okay, like truly DID in the sense of what DID means, that means you started splitting as a young child, and so probably you have some child parts that are age 6 or below, but they would speak that like what I don't even know how to say what you just said.
Oh, that's okay. Gujarati. Gujarati.
Gujarati.
T, like T.
Yeah. Yeah. So like like even try it right now. That's one of the languages you still know, right? I mean, is that one of your...
Yeah. So I'm fluent in Gujarati and Hindi. So like, and then English, and then I also speak conversational Spanish. So technically I'm like I speak 4 languages.
That's amazing. That's fun. That's fantastic. You're really good at languages. But okay, so and the Hindi was something you learned in India as well?
Yeah, it's just like by default because like that's the native language of the country.
Okay. So I would say to you, for example, pick one of the Gujarati or Hindi and say something back in your mind
Mhm.
towards towards those shadows. What do you hear?
I'm leaning to the left. Why am I leaning to the left?
I don't know, but go with it because that happened a different time. You were leaning one way, you were leaning way one way or the other. So just go with it. Maybe they're on the left side.
I see a little dress.
Can you okay, speak to the little dress in one of those early languages, either one of them.
Naru Namriate.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? How you doing?
Lollipop.
Lollipop. How you doing? I don't have a thingy with toy with me. Where's it? Do you have a pretty dress? Where's a toy? I have a toy somewhere I can show you. See where you are? You see where you are?
Gum.
Let me see. Let me get something. Hold on. Uh, a little toy.
Horsey. Bunny. Bunny ગમે છે. મને ગમે છે. Dancing. It's dancing.
It dances.
Ah.
Do you have any little toys? This is actually a unicorn. Oops.
Oh.
It's doing weird things. See how it has a little head on it, a little unicorn. Oh, that's weird how it goes away. This Skype does weird things with it. Whoa! Where did it's a disappearing unicorn, and that's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool game. Now I have a horsey, and now I don't. Now I don't. There's a dog. There's a horse. There's a horse. That's pretty fancy. How old do you be? How old are you? How old? 5? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Mhm. You see, do you see the house? Do you know this house where you live? A new house? Well, It's a. Do you know Perry? Do you know Perry? What's your name?
Ria.
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 Hi, Ria. Hi, Ria. 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 Ria.
Ria.
Ria.
Ria.
Good.
Ria.
Good. Ria. Welcome, welcome, Ria. So, this is Perry. Do you know Perry? Big Perry? Big Perry. This is her new place where she lives. Her new room. New house.
મોટું છે.
Is it big? Yeah. 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 It's big. Yeah, she doesn't live in India anymore. Do you know about India?
India. India, yeah. मैं ઇન્ડિયામાં નાલું કરમાં રહેતી. નાલું.
Oh, it's a little bitty room. Okay. Well, this is her new room. This is, do you know other little girls, Ria? Other little girls. Little girls. Little girls. Can you hear that? Can you hear other little girls? There's see other little girls? Oh, does it make you sad? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's the matter, hon? What's the matter, hon? It's still Ria or just somebody else? Ria or no? Ria? What's sad, Ria? Why sad, Ria? Why sad? It's your heart hurt? What makes you sad, hon? Oh, can't tell. Can't tell. How come you can't tell? Oh. 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 Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not going to hit you, all right? I'm not going to slap you because when you're with me, Ria, it's okay to talk. And I'm very sorry anybody hit you. I'm very sorry anybody hit you. Oh no. Some of the mean boys are not here. I know that much. At this new house, some of the mean boys are gone. Perry mentioned some mean boys. Some of the mean boys. I don't know all your story, but you're not in India anymore. See this new house? This new house is in America. Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. And so some of the mean boys, they were in India, right? There's plenty of mean boys in America, but some of the mean boys that hurt you when you were little are in India.
Huh.
So they're not in that house, that new house?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah. So did you know it's okay to be it's okay now to talk a little bit about what's happened at this new place?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Do you still think you're gonna get it?
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a heart?
Huh.
How come you need to still hide? Because it's nice to say hi to you. It's nice to say it because maybe we can help make things better for you now. Maybe we can make things better for you now.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Pari? Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's Perry's house. Do you know where she is?
Sorry, gotcha.
What about the other girls? Are you the only girl? Are you by yourself?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, gotcha.
Hmm. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I want to ask Perry to find you and have her help take care and show you she can help take care of you, okay? Because you are here now and things can be better and safer for you. Things can be better for you now. And I don't even know how much English you know or understand at the moment, but Perry understands English. Do you speak very much English?
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn a little bit of English in India? A little bit? Ever? Okay. Do you remember moving to America? Okay.
Totally.
A little bit. Okay. Okay. So you've come to America now, and there's a little bit more English to learn, but there might be other little girls that need to know that you're here too. You're trying to help Perry feel safer,
Mm-hmm.
and that means helping you get safer too, so you're not so scared. So I don't know quite yet what you're scared of, because I don't know who did this. Was that somebody in India? Yeah. Okay. Because if that was somebody in India, then you're safer from them because they're here. Because you're now you're in America. So the India, whoever did that in India, slapped your face. They're not. They can't slap your face. They can't hurt you like that now because you're not there. You're way over. You're way over here in America.
Mm.
Okay. So it's safer for you now. It's safer for you. They're not able to hit you. What do you think of that? Yeah. But there's a lot of new things about America. But if Perry was to say, Ria, Ria, will she find you? Yeah. Do you know Nala? You know Nala, okay. Do you know Priya? There's Ria and Priya. Do you know Priya? No. Do you know Naya? Okay. There's a Nala and a Naya. I know Naya. Do you know Kenny? Okay, okay, there's Kenny.
Brother.
Oh, that's your brother. Okay, okay, Kenny's your brother. Okay, well, I've said hello to Kenny. You know Anya. Okay, we'll see. Those are all your friends, and or well, and what about Perry? Why does Perry not know about you? All right. Well, can we tell Perry about you today? Yeah. Can she hear you right now? Can she see you? Wait, wait. And what does Perry's face look like? Oh, is she sad? Oh. Can you go to Perry and touch her? Can you touch her arm? Can you hold her hand? Can you touch her? Oh, big hug. Okay, okay, okay. Big hug. Okay. And what is oh, a hug and kiss. Hi, Perry. What did she say to Ria?
She's
Oh,
crying.
oh, oh,
She's crying.
yeah. Oh, does it mean a lot to her to find you? Yeah. Yeah, you might be really important to her. Do you know you could I'm glad you're not hiding anymore. Do you know you can be part of our group? Do you know you're welcome to be here? Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome to be here, part of the group. Yeah. Yeah. And do you know any other if there's any other little girls you know? Any other little girls from India? Okay. Well, if you find any other little girls from India hiding, because I keep seeing that sad face when I mention that. So maybe there's some sad little girls or something in India. They can come here too, to America too. Do they just so they know that they can come to America too. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, is is there anything you can tell me today in particular, or before we? 'Cause I want to talk back to Perry, see how she is. But will you stay close where Perry can still see you? Will you do that? Okay. Okay, because I want to check in with her and see how she's doing, knowing that there's a Ria here. And welcome, welcome to America. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. I am glad you're here, and hopefully we will. I will talk to Perry a little bit more, but I want you to know you're safer here, and we'll find ways to keep you safer here, and make sure none of this, no more of that, and whatever else happened to you, try to help that to stop too, because we want you to be safer and more okay. Okay, and if you get scared, and talk to some of the older girls, and they can help me understand what's happening, and I can help with that. Okay, you can talk with some of them. Yeah, because I can help. I can help with that. All right. All right. Okay. All right, Raya. Ria, not Raya. Ria. I will talk to you again maybe next time, but let me check with Perry now and see how she is. Okay. Thank you for showing up. Good to meet you. Okay. Okay. Now, Ria, if you think about just closing your eyes and going back a little bit. Perry, if you can think about coming forward. And Ria's going to step back. And as she's stepping back, there's a little bit of space. And at the front of the space, Perry can start maybe moving to the front, or Nala. I'm not sure who can come back to the front, but one of the bigger girls. Who have I got?
Pari.
Pari. All right. Can never say your name right. Pari.
It's okay.
You've heard it forever, Perry Pari.
It's okay.
Pari. Well, what did you just see?
This is new.
Okay, but I want to hear your words before I say my words of what I saw. I want to see what you saw.
I don't know where she got the hitting from.
Well, you will have to ask her that, because maybe whoever was hurting her was hitting her to tell her to be quiet. Like, I don't know who was hurting her. I mean, because you mentioned a few possibilities. So I don't know if that's her story or if that's your story, or she has a story different than what you know. So do you see her?
Yeah, she's hanging out on the couch with Kenny.
Right. Did you hear her say Kenny was her brother?
Yeah.
Maybe she makes Cheetos too. I don't know.
She's eating a lollipop right now.
Okay.
She's eating a lollipop right now. She's sitting on a couch with Kenny.
Okay.
And Kenny really likes the couch.
All right. And she's 5. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's her name? Because I got a name, but what name did you get?
Ria.
Okay. How does that name sit with you? Do you have any connection to that name?
My niece's name.
And how old is the niece?
Now she's I think she's like we're not that far apart in age. I don't know. I don't know. She's like probably in her early 20s. We're not that far apart.
And she's your niece, but because your brother's a lot older than you, right?
The relationships work different in like our culture. So like my dad's brothers are my uncles, and then his children would be my cousins, and then their wives would be my sister-in-laws. So their kids would be my nieces and nephews.
Okay. So in America, we call that your, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it gets confusing when I tell people. They're like, you don't have, your brother's not married, he doesn't have children. I was just like, but then I have to explain that like anybody that's like related to like my dad's siblings are my uncles, and then like their kids, we would consider them our brothers and sisters too, like cousin brothers and sisters. So anybody that they're married to would be our brother-in-law or sister-in-law, and then their kids would be our nieces and nephews as well.
Okay.
Only difference would be it'd be a cousin brother versus like my biological brother.
Yeah. Okay. So your cousins are your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's what. So they're not really called cousins. They're called brothers and sisters.
Yeah, but like, yeah, they're brothers and sisters as
Yeah.
well. Just like
Okay.
first cousins.
Okay.
I have over 20 first cousins on my dad's side.
But yeah.
It's a lot. My dad has tons of like 10 or 11 siblings. So.
Okay. So you have one niece that's named Ria. Do you think this little Ria has anything to do with that, or this is just a name that you? Technically, she's only in her 20s. Because you're how old, Pari?
30.
30. Yeah. So technically, your little one would have been born before her.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, because even if we take away 5, so that's 25 years ago. So your little Ria would have been born before your niece Ria was born.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, how does this feel? I mean, seeing a little girl was she still wearing a white dress? Did you finally see a little girl in a white dress, or because you were just seeing the white dress?
Now I see a little girl in a white dress. She has a smaller face. Obviously, she's little. She has pigtails.
Okay.
And black shoes with white socks, and it has lace at the top of her socks.
Okay. And have you ever seen her before, or ever felt her energy before? I mean, what she said she gave you a hug?
Yeah. Yeah, she gave me a hug. It felt nice. I could actually feel like another human touching me.
Could you? Like, okay, so you could feel the separateness between her and you.
Yeah. She gave me a kiss right here.
Yeah. She said you were crying?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Because I could feel the other human.
Where when you have Nala next to you, you don't feel the other human?
No.
Okay. Okay. No, that's all right. It's just that's part of the difference, right? Maybe that's where those are the sides of Pari where maybe this little Ria is a more distinct split, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That I want there to be, I want to feel Nala as another human.
Can she do that?
She's scoffing at me. Why is she scoffing at me?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Why are you scoffing at me? Like, I don't know. She's just scoffing. She's chewing her gum right now, and she's sitting like how she usually sits, and she's just scoffing at me. So there's that. And I feel very lightheaded right now.
Is she trying to come to the front?
I don't know.
Nala,
Probably.
are you on your way up here, Nala?
I hear a little bit. I hear a little bit of her going, like, just being like annoyed with the fact that she has to come out. She's rolling her eyes, and she's coming up the stairs right now, and she's just storming up the stairs, and she's like, God damn it, like, can't you just leave a girl alone?
No, not today.
Oh gosh.
Not today. I have quite because that little Rhea knew Nala as well. So Nala, do you know Rhea?
Yeah, I know her.
There you are. How you been?
I've been good.
It's such a headache to have to come all the way up the stairs to talk to me.
Well, I was just chilling, but this girl can't leave it. She just can't give it a rest. Like, girl, chill. Just let us live our life.
Rhea or Pari, who are you talking about?
Talking about Pari. Rhea. What is a 5-year-old gonna do? Like,
well, probably nothing. That's why I assumed you were talking about Pari.
Yeah. She's just got to give it a rest. Like, chill.
Well, because she specifically addressed you in her email to me saying, I sometimes am pretending to be Nala. So what are we going to say about that? Is she pretending to be Nala, or what is the deal? How do you want to answer that?
We'll just let her think that she's pretending to be Nala.
Okay.
Because this girl can't give it a rest. She likes to be in control, so then let the bitch be in control. Like, okay, cool. Like, if she's not going to let me come out and let me live my life and let me handle the men, then homegirl can handle it on her own.
And how is she doing with that?
It's fun to see her fail.
What? She's not doing well with the men?
No, she's not. It's not fun to see her fail. What I mean by that is just like, listen, let me just handle the men. Why don't you just handle work? You're good at that. You're not good with men. Like, let me handle that, will you? Like she needs to realize that, like, she can't handle shit on her own. Why the fuck doesn't that get through her head? Like, why do I gotta deal with this shit? And then I gotta deal with it in the back and just have her be like, I am Nala. Like, no, bitch, you're not Nala. I'm Nala. Okay? Like, let me live my life. Like, do you know how much of a hassle it was to get her to buy me my goddamn contacts?
Wow. Okay. Because you want which ones? The green ones or what? No.
I want the gray ones.
The gray ones. One of the colors of the gray ones. Okay.
Yes. I have the darker gray ones, and then Tina has the lighter gray ones. And then Nala. No, wait, I'm Nala. I confuse my twin. And then my twin, Anaya, apparently thinks we're not twins. So we have an argument on the inside because that girl just is so unbothered that she likes to argue with me. And she likes to say that she has green eyes. That's cool. You can have green eyes. You could be whatever you want to be. But then I don't get her logic of trying to pretend like she's 21 when we're both 24. That girl just likes to reject our twinhood.
And why is she rejecting you?
Because she doesn't want to be 24. She wants to be 21. She's not technically rejecting me. She's just rejecting our age. And she says that we can't be twins if she's 21 and I'm 24.
What if she stopped at 21 and you kept going?
I don't know, man. Like, I just need her to, well, I guess I can't really need her to do anything. I guess. I mean, most of our fights entail shit around our age, and I don't understand her. Like, she's just like, girl, do you like figure out how we can go to Bali or move to Australia or move to Amsterdam? You know, figure that shit out. Like, you know, like we're trying to escape. Why can't you just deal with that and like stop worrying about this fixation with age?
Well, maybe there's a reason. There's probably a reason. That's why she's fixated on something. Maybe she hasn't uncovered why she feels 21 and you feel 24, or why she wants to reject 24. Did something happen at 22, 23, 24 that Naya doesn't want to, or didn't experience, or doesn't want to experience, or doesn't want to remember even?
I don't know. Okay, like she rarely comes out. She rejects coming out. You know, then I don't understand her because she likes to be the center of the attention and she likes to model. Although I like to take pictures too, but I'm more of the badass. So like I like to take more sexy pictures and she's more of the artistic pictures. So I don't get her. Why she like that?
I don't know. What did she say?
She tells me to shut the fuck up. And then now she's coming up the stairs.
No.
No, she don't like that. She don't like that I'm talking shit about her. She's like she's telling me that like I have nothing better to do than be a bitch to her and that I am not being a good sister to her and that she doesn't under she is having a very hard time being nice to me because I don't understand her.
Well, are you trying to understand her?
No. I just want an explanation of why she wants to reject 24.
All right, well then let's ask her why she doesn't want to be 24. I mean, I'm sure she's got a good reason. If she's put up this much argument with you about it, she's got a reason,
If
right?
she, yes, yes. I don't understand why she's so like upset about the fact that like she did not, or Pari or we did not have a good 21st birthday.
Okay.
So she says that she wants to be forever 21 so that she can celebrate her 21st. Because she wants that. And she deserves that.
Why does the 21st birthday matter more than all the other birthdays?
Because I guess like she didn't get a good 21st birthday. I mean, she like Perry also didn't have a good 30th birthday. She also didn't have a good 13th birthday. She also didn't have a good 16th birthday.
Uh-oh. When was the 30th?
September 20th.
All right.
So like she's so heavily focused on the 21st birthday, which I mean I don't get. Like, okay, cool, like it happened. Like, get over it. Like, what can we do? It happened.
Well, maybe there was a trauma. Was there a trauma that happened to her, to Naya, that night that maybe didn't happen to you, Nala?
No, she's just saying like nothing happened. She's like nothing happened. Why can't I just have a 21st birthday? Like, why does it have to be with trauma?
what made the birthday party so significant that was a stopping point for her? Because if you're twins, like I get what you're saying. If you're twins and you've carried on to 24, she stopped at 21, you've gone to 24.
She didn't. She doesn't have friends, and the 21st birthday is just kind of like including the 21st, all milestone birthdays for Pari. So she's holding on to the fact that Pari didn't have a good 21st birthday.
Yeah, but what did she want to happen that didn't happen?
Like the stereotypical, I guess, like Pari didn't get to go to like the place that she wanted to. Pari catered to her friends. They came home before midnight. Like, you know, like they were only out for like an hour. And it was just a lot of stuff that Pari didn't get to enjoy for her 21st birthday. So she holds a lot of anger and resentment and guilt and shame for that. So she says that she just wants to be 21 so that at least one of us can feel like we're 21 and somehow rightfully celebrate 21st.
Well, how long is she going to do that? Because now Pari's 30.
Until she gets the 21st.
Okay. Well, which is her? Is she say September 20th is her birthday?
She wants to celebrate her 21st.
On what day?
On September 20th.
So we've passed September this year.
Yeah, and she is also upset that she had a shitty 30th.
And that was this year. That's right. In September it was the 30th.
Yes.
Well, when Pari turns 31, does 31 and 21 could be a decade, that's a decade there.
Yeah.
Could they both have a birthday next year?
Yes. Yes.
So that would mean you have like 9 months to plan what you want to do on your 21st, 31st birthday.
Yes. And it's just the difference of people willing to celebrate because Pari doesn't have a lot of friends.
So it was really the issue about not having friends. Is that what made that birthday so bad? Is that the friends weren't let her down, and so she realized they weren't friends?
Yeah, and on top of it, Pari's friends are they're not selfish, anything like that, and I think it's more just kind of like Naya says that she's just so tired of like having Pari plan everything all the time and people not pulling through, people not being like, oh, you know what, like why don't you take a back seat and let us plan? It's your day. It's all about you. What do you want to do? But rather, it's always Pari being kind of like, oh, let's go here. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's always her having to do things for herself, and like Pari always does things and plans stuff for her other friends, but when it comes to her friends and people don't come through for her in the same way. Mm-hmm. So Naya gets so upset about that.
Yeah.
And she is upset that Pari, even though Pari's upset, Pari can't like voice that. And she doesn't like that, like Pari is kind of unbothered by it, even though she's upset by it.
So Pari doesn't hold that upset.
She does, but she won't say it.
Why not?
Because she doesn't want to sound ungrateful. Mm. And so Naya gets upset by it. And because then Naya says that like we're not like Fari is not really complaining. Fari is not complaining about the fact that she wants a good birthday. So yeah, that's her story.
Well, having a good birthday would mean what?
I don't know what it would mean. I know that I just know that homegirl just wants Barry to have something that's good. Because there's been a history of shitty birthdays. Almost every birthday that Barry's had from her childhood has been shitty. Something usually goes wrong. Barry has not had a good birthday.
And what was the problem this year? You were just starting to know your people though this year.
Yeah, the problem was that her friends didn't show up, and Barry didn't get to do the boat thing that she wanted to do, and her brother didn't show up. As he said, he showed up right at midnight, and then brother's fiance got upset because she's a fucking bitch. Do you know that?
And then they went on the boat ride the next day that you wanted to go on.
That Barry wanted to go on. And then Barry was venting to her best friend, and her best friend just ended up texting her boyfriend the entire time, and then later on, her best friend told her that Barry's birthday was the most frustrating thing because Barry kept complaining. I would think that anybody that's that hurt would complain about how much of a shitty birthday that they're having on their 30th birthday, and her best friend wanted to watch the Eagles game on Barry's birthday. And Barry's the type of person where she's not going to say no to her friends if they want to do something. She just has a hard time being like, no, that's not what I want to do. She'll just be like, oh, okay, even though she doesn't want to.
Right.
And her best friend didn't understand that. She's like, well, if you didn't want to do it, then you didn't have to come. It's I'm gonna of course Barry's gonna go because that's her guest. She's not gonna be don't cut. I'm not going. And whatever the guest wants to do is what they're gonna do.
An Eagles game. What do you mean? Where did you go to see an Eagles game?
Is that the Eagles football game? Is
Eagles versus Chicago?
No, it was Eagles were playing somebody else, and she just wanted to go. She's a huge football fan, so that's what she wanted to do. And then the entire time, yes.
Do you care about Philadelphia?
No.
No. Yeah. So it was really your friend's thing on Pari's birthday. She wanted to do her own thing instead of do Pari's thing at all. Because you guys don't have anything to do with Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, no. And so because Barry is just okay, well, you're my friend and you're coming into town for my birthday, and it's Sunday football, I'm not going to say don't.
Oh, okay. So at least the friend came into town, except.
But her Barry's 30th was actually on Sunday football, the day that she wanted to watch the game. So she was upset, and her friend was texting her boyfriend the entire time, the entire day, just texting. And that fucking bitch, all she does is text. And even when Barry FaceTimes her, all she does is text her boyfriend, okay, listen, you're not the only one with a fucking boyfriend.
Well, so even though she came to visit, she wasn't giving you attention. She wasn't.
No, because her entire thing was just she's taking pictures, and she would just spend 15 minutes just texting her boyfriend pictures and shit like that. It's just okay, I understand that you're not a phone call person and you're more of a texter, but can you not? And Barry's not a texter. If you want to talk to Barry, just freaking call her. You'll probably she'll answer, she'll talk to you, she'll spend 2 hours talking to you, and then that'll be the end of that. And then that's it. But Barry's not a texter. If you text her on a regular basis, she just doesn't text. So you'll feel like she's ignoring you when in reality she's not ignoring you. She's just not a texter.
Yeah, yeah, that's not her. She'd rather talk with a conversation than talk over text.
Yeah, that's just her.
Yeah,
So
well,
like it was just a
nothing
very
wrong with
shitty
that.
birthday.
It's a more genuine conversation than a text, isn't it? I mean, text is great in a context, but not as the only way of talking.
Exactly, and Shrewsbury's all about genuine connections and things like that. Like she like absolutely despises texting, especially when it comes to serious conversations too.
Right,
So
right,
like,
right.
and like texting just doesn't convey tone and things like that, so she hates it.
Well, it's tone. Yeah, tone can be very misinterpreted over a text. Like, yeah.
That's her personality. So like Naya,
Your friend would know that. And how long has your friend been her friend?
over a couple years, so she knows that, but her friend still texts her, and like it's just like whatever. But then her friend and her like don't talk as often ever since her friend got a boyfriend.
Well, right, no, because big boyfriend's got to be in the front of everything.
I don't know, like
So then Parry's feeling very left out with that
no,
friend.
like well,
And that
no,
that friend's not well. That friend's not being a great friend anymore.
no, I mean, she's still there, and like Perry basically told her that like, hey, like a few weeks ago that hey, like I'm not feeling okay, I'm not doing well mental health wise, like you know, and so if I don't talk to you often, like don't get concerned. And her friend was just like, okay, well if you're not feeling safe, like is it okay if I check in with you? So her friend will check in with her, and her friend be like, hey, if you need to talk, I'm here, right? And Burry knows that, but that friend also is a doctor, and I think we've talked about her. So
Oh,
her
that's
friend,
the doctor friend.
yeah, and her friend doesn't like
Oh, they
like
got really drunk or something.
what?
Didn't they get really drunk or something? Or
No,
why am I thinking that?
no. Burry got drunk, and Burry was like feeling like Tina was coming, and then that friend was just like, you're not like just based on what they read online. That friend was just like, oh, you're not DID. You don't have DID. You're this. I think you might have an eating disorder because Burry was losing a lot of weight from her Ritalin. And so she's just constantly like rebuttaling. And like honestly, I like Burry, like she's a good friend to Burry, but I don't like her and I want to punch her in the face. And also I think she's an insecure little bitch that is jealous of Burry. Cause when we were out for her birthday, Burry has a very flat, like a very outgoing, outshining personality. Burry is very just like can go up to anybody and talk to anybody, and like will go up to men and talk to them and like hang out with them and things like that. Almost like, but like she's like that with even like girls too. And I help her do that with the men, and I think she gets jealous by that because a lot of men were approaching Pari on when they were out together, and she even though had a boyfriend because she acts like, oh, I have a boyfriend now. It's like you're not the only one with a fucking boyfriend, and your boyfriend's fucking ugly. You said it yourself,
Mm.
and you fell in love with your boyfriend within 2 weeks and told him you love him. And I also just think that because she's fucking turning 30, she just thinks that like she's probably with him a little bit out of desperation.
Oh,
Whereas whereas Burry is just like, I don't care, like I'm cool, like I will find a guy when I find the guy and I don't care. And yeah. So this is why Burry doesn't have friends.
mm.
It's just like she just has zero patience for this kind of fuckery. And then
Mm.
Naya gets upset, and then I get upset, and then we have to step in and we have to handle shit.
Right, right. Because it's a lot of hurt feelings.
Yeah. And as much as she likes to say that she can deal with her hurt feelings, no, she freaking can't. When it comes to people she's close to, she will bottle up her feelings. and not say anything. But when it comes to strangers, she will go off on them.
More than they need?
No, just enough. Anya and Furry will go off on them. And when I say Anya and Furry, what I mean is Anya will give Furry a nudge, even though Furry doesn't realize it. Anya will give Furry a nudge and give her the clinical context in which Furry will say stuff. So if men will say something to Furry, like this guy who told her that like he believes in gender roles. Well, okay, because his little sissy ass was like, I believe in gender roles and I don't think I want a girl to kick my ass. I was like, oh, okay. All right, Anya, you take over and let this little bitch know that he needs a lesson. So, yeah, basically Anya called him an insecure little piece of shit. Because he's scared that Furry can kick his ass. Have you seen her kickbox, by the way?
I have not seen. Is it her that kicks box or you?
I mean, I know a little bit, but it's mostly her, and
Okay.
she can kick up to 6 feet.
Wow. No, I haven't seen. Do you have videos?
Yeah. I don't know. Can we screen share? I don't know. Hang on.
You can screen share.
Okay. Wait, we're gonna go to her Instagram, and by the way, she did upload a photo of Naya onto her Instagram, but because Furry uploads a lot of photos of her modeling, Furry, people don't know it's actually us. So we'll get you.
So you go pull up the thing you want to show me.
Oh wait, where did you go? You keep disappearing because I forget that you're on a web browser. Haha. Okay. So screen share.
I'm not in a app.
There you go.
Okay, screen share.
Okay.
Oh.
So this is Furry's page, as you can see. This is us. That's me.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's you with your feet up.
That's me, as you could tell. That's a little bit of Anya shining through right there.
Okay.
This is Naya. I confuse myself. I call myself Naya.
Yeah. That's the twin self.
Yes, I confuse my own twin's name. She doesn't like that. She's just like, I am different from you. Can you please just get my name right? But this is Naya, and as you can tell, not a lot of people would know because not a lot of people know that she has DID, but because she's wearing a wig, she could pull it off.
It says on there, you can call me Naya Archibald.
Yeah, but not her Furry's friends don't know that she has DID.
Oh.
So this is her. So because Furry's like, there's Naya's wearing a red wig, hence new identity, who this.
Okay.
You can call me Naya Archibald, unrelated to Nate Archibald from Gossip Girl. Okay. Katana is Furry's favorite Mortal Kombat character, so she dressed up as Katana. But, okay, so let's see. Where is her kick? I think this is it. Okay, so this is 1.5 years of kickboxing later. She's got a lot of balance, but
that's really good balance. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so that's just her kicking, but this is her sidekick, that form. Yeah. That's good. Then that's how high she can kick.
There it goes. It's up there, yeah.
Yeah. So she went.
Oh, that's even higher. Yep.
Yeah, that's the front kick. So that's up to the nose of somebody if she were to go kick. And then let's see.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah. It's yeah. I didn't realize. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she's very, very good at kickboxing. And that's her instructor, who she has a lot of respect for. And this is actually Furi's happy place.
Yeah.
Like this place makes her feel really safe.
Wow. Well, yes, because it's interesting. So, is it that she can defend herself? Is that part of it's exercise and all that exciting thing? But also, would it be
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Because just got a little bit of a hint of some little one saying something about wanting to be able to, not be hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And then this one is where she finally learned to do a double jump kick. It's actually pretty cool. So you'll see her the last one. She'll get it right. She spent a lot of time, and she's also a very fast learner. So whatever she did right here, yes, it took her a year and a half to learn like the techniques and things like that. But this double jump spinning kick, she learned it in a week.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all very proud of her.
Because, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So
because to make it go well, you have to it has to be smooth and no hesitation. You got to have your feet right.
Yeah, exactly. So she's very good, and her instructor basically just said that like he's never seen somebody grow and learn as fast as she can, as fast as she has, and that she basically jumped to about intermediate to advanced to intermediate or intermediate to advanced within like 6 to 8 months. And he's never seen somebody be that skilled so fast.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And you can tell,
So there's a lot of us on her Instagram page, but nobody can tell because people just think that it's just Furi.
Well, because the outside body only looks so different, right? I mean, there's only so many things you can't make it get bigger or smaller, but the putting of the different hair and the different eyes will certainly changes your look, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's a nice way to put yourselves out there. Are you comfortable with that? Or is it good to have your own expression? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because like the different outfits felt really good because like that way we are allowed to express ourselves in a way that like all of us have our personalities, different parts of us peeping through, and all we want is for her to let us do that more often. And that's the only reason that we don't come out is because one, we don't really feel the need to right now, and two, because like she doesn't let us. That bitch needs to let go of control. Like what is her issue? What is her problem? Like why can't she just be okay with the fact that like we got to come out?
Well, what is she scared about if you do come out? I mean, I know there for a while she was afraid you would do too many things with men. That originally there was, is that still a problem?
No, I get that she doesn't want me to do that, and I respect that. I won't do anything. So I'm not gonna do anything.
So if you could come out like this weekend, what would you do? Does she work Monday through Friday? Really? Is that the work time? Monday through Friday?
Yes.
Okay. So it's the weekend and it's a holiday week next week. So I mean, I don't know if she's working Monday through Friday next week when it's a.
She's working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She's off Christmas Eve and Christmas.
Okay, and then Boxing Day. Friday. No.
Boxing Day. I think that's Canada.
It's Canada. Actually, that is Canada, but that is Christmas is Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, Christmas is Friday, so
Okay,
she's
so
off
she's
on.
off Thursday, Friday, right?
Yeah, she's off Thursday, Friday. So I mean, we're probably not going to be around for that. I don't know. We'll
Well,
probably just be chilling in the back.
like, what will you have family? Do you do family things on the holidays like that, or
Yeah, family's
is it
gonna
part of
come
your?
over.
Okay, because
So
how are you doing about living at the parents' house? How are you feeling about that?
we don't like it.
Okay, is that part of why you're hiding a little more?
Yes, we don't have anywhere to go. Like we're completely and utterly confined to this room and this home because Pari's parents sold her car, not for any other reason than the fact that she was living in the city, so she didn't need the car. So she didn't have the car for 2 years. So, they were just paying insurance on it for no reason. It was an older car. It was like, oh, three, I think. But they sold it. So now there's no car, so she can't go anywhere. And when she was living in the city, she could at least go outside, she could go kickboxing and things like that, but she can't do anything.
Yeah.
So, and I can't even go on dates.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're all tucked back in now and what's the plan? How long will you be there?
Hopefully until March, but like we just continuously have financial issues. So like we can't really go anywhere and it sucks because Barry's worked so hard and it just seems like we just constantly have financial issues. Like, have you lived in America? Yes, you have. But like, do you know how hard it is to survive off of $60,000 a year? It's very hard. It's very hard. And to live in a city and to be like financially stable in a city, to have your own apartment and things like that is extremely, extremely, extremely difficult.
Well, 60,000 is not lots, but it's not little either. I mean, but I don't know the cost of living in Chicago, so I don't know how to
It's a
that.
lot. It's a lot. An apartment goes for like $1,000. And that's without furniture, utilities, and things like that. And Burry wants to live in a nice high rise that she did, and that's very expensive, and it's hard, and it's unfair that like she cannot break this cycle of just like being so financially incapacitated, and it bothers her, and we just want her to basically make more money. And she's a very talented person. You know that she's crafty. So she bought this machine. It's a Cricut machine. I don't know. Have you heard of it? It's a Cricut maker machine.
Hmm. Makes crickets.
You're funny. No, it's like a machine.
Usually, there's lots of crickets out there.
Yeah, no, it's CRICUT. So it's basically like a craft machine. So you can engrave with it, you can cut fabric with it, you can wood burn with it,
Wow.
and a lot of other stuff. You can make vinyls and stencils and things like that. So she actually made this cup for her friend.
Oh, wow.
It's a sponsor spot, which is her friend's startup. So she made this cup for him, and she made a whole bunch of other cups, and she made a whole bunch of aprons and for her mom's work, and her mom helped her sell them for $10 a pop. So basically her mom, she decorated an apron for her mom, and everybody loved it. So they were like, my mom, our mom, her mom, who knows,
That mom.
that mom, a mom. I
Yeah.
don't know. So mom basically was just, I think that was Furry trying to come out.
Mhm.
Probably. But yes.
Well,
So
you're talking about what she was doing, so it's just yeah.
yeah. So she basically is just like, let me tell the story. But no, I am having fun being outside right now. So she can sit back and I will tell her story. So yeah, her mom basically was just kind of like, oh, you like it? My it's gonna be $10 and I can get it for you too. So basically, she had 9 or 10 people pay $10 a pop and decorate aprons for them. So probably made $90 off of designing aprons.
Well, that's awesome.
Yes.
And
So
how long did that take her to do?
Well, the color ones took her all night, and to be fair, the work didn't give her enough time, so she had to stay up all night making them because they all wanted Grinch on the aprons, and layering takes a very long time. So it was she stayed up all night, which was, but she
So
did a very good job.
probably mom undersold you. Probably next time mom should say $20,
Yeah.
not
So mom,
$10.
so mom felt her mom felt really bad because Mary stayed up all night. But her mom told her that she was very proud of her, and when her dad saw the work, then how much time and effort she spent on it, her dad cried.
Oh, okay. So they were proud of you. That's awesome.
Yeah. So they were like,
But
if you
still, it was
didn't,
only $90 for all night, which you could do that in an hour probably at work. So I mean, that's what makes it.
yeah,
Next time, mom,
yeah.
it's okay if mom sells those things, but she needs to sell them for a higher price.
Yeah, but mom didn't know that it would take this long. And to be fair, they didn't tell mom that they wanted it over. They wanted it right away. So mom was kind of like in a position where she couldn't say, "Hey, it's gonna take longer." So my mom, hello. So so my mom basically was like, yeah, my mom was basically like, she's like, can you make this in this amount of time? So yeah, it's my turn. I got to tell the story. So, yeah.
Well, how are you doing? Because guess what? Look what we've done today.
Oh, it's almost sad. We gotta go soon. We gotta go because I have a 4 p.m. But um, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but look
What
what.
did we do? We talked to Nala. We
Yes,
talked to
yes, yes.
Nala.
Well, Nala came. Now, did you? She was making you very distinct from her, is what she was saying. She wasn't saying, "Oh, I've got Perry on me all over." She was saying, "I am myself," and that what's wrong with that bitch? She can't figure it out.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, I heard that. I was just like, geez, like
Yeah.
a little harsh there.
Well, she's just saying that's just her ways. I don't think she meant it in an offensive way.
No, that's just how she talks. She curses
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
She's got a very like. I think there's a little bit of black in her or Latina in her. She's just very just like sassy.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
very stereotypical, but that's not how I meant it. It's a very verbose
No, no,
personality.
I know what you mean. Yes, I know what you mean. I do know
She's
exactly
a
what.
very verbose personality.
Yeah.
Very verbose. But yes, we did. You somehow helped me discover Rhea. So now there's 8.
Well, because honestly, you didn't create parts as I mean, before that you had Kenny. Was Kenny the youngest?
Yes, Kenny was 15 or is 15.
Yeah. So you didn't start creating parts at age 15. So it that I mean if now if you're just making up parts, sure. But if you're actually dissociative, you're gonna have child parts.
Yeah.
Telling you, you're gonna. So because you would have had to have started splitting as a little girl,
I mean, that
and
makes sense, right? Kind of.
it's just how it is. I mean, to be truly dissociative, that has to happen as in childhood when the brain is young enough and malleable, and when the little one doesn't have the help or support or the protection that they need, and based on whatever kind of circumstances, and there's enough trouble that there or pain or fear or intimidation or whatever, trauma that they need to pull apart and have it not be them. That somebody it happens to somebody else, not themselves.
Yeah.
So that can show up in any variety of ways. But
Okay.
but once the person becomes older and they have abstract thought and they have other ways to process trauma, you don't split. You get complex PTSD, but you don't split the same. So it's the to split into actual different selves has to start as a young child.
Okay.
which means something happened as a young child in order to create the need to split. So everybody that's dissociative has child parts, like everyone does it.
Okay, well, we found one.
From one.
We found one. I'm sure there's more. I mean, if Nala says that there are 15, then there are 15.
Well, if it's Nala that says that, I wasn't sure who was quoting that, but yeah. And so the other thought is somewhere in my mind. I don't know if I even knew you lived in India. Well, anyway, I remember it now.
Mhm.
But you may have other ones from those early years that related to that time frame because
Okay.
and they may very well speak the other languages.
Okay.
So if you want to, now this little girl that came, Ria, could speak a little bit of English and she did fine. She also said a bunch of things. I don't have a clue what she said. So you'll have to watch, but come back and watch the video and interpret what some of the things. And bless her heart, I'm glad you learn a little English, but also the more because you're trilingual, maybe she can learn English
Yeah.
more and more English because it's obviously really going to be really hard to talk to her when she speaks Hindi or whatever she's speaking.
Gujarati.
Yeah, because I don't know Hindi. I know it does, but I don't know it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. No, I can. Okay. So I know that we're well over time, and I know that I emailed you about last time because I know we did overtime.
we,
So um so I wanted to make sure I didn't forget that I have to pay you for that. So if you can tell me how much, because I think we went over an hour and a half, and I know we're doing half an hour over today.
well, don't worry about it today. I mean, for that one, I don't know. I'll have Alex send you something.
Okay, sounds good. So that I could,
He
pay you for that.
did for me, but yeah. So we'll just tap a little bit on the top. That's okay. Because that one, I do know we did one like 4 hours. Like it was a long. It
Yeah,
was.
yeah, that's why I was asking. Like, I want to make sure that pay you for that time that you spent with me.
Thank you.
And also it makes sense that we would, because like it would be that long just because like of how often like I'm having consultations with you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what was your interpretation of Ria and Nala today?
Ria, well, you said that Ria felt like it's her own person to you. So that means she feels a little more split from you, right? Like, cl- I mean, were you pretending to be Ria? Does it like you said you were worried about pretending to be Nala?
I always feel that way though, because I'm like co-conscious all the time, and like I think it's also because what Nala said. It's just like, damn it, like I do have a control issue. So
Well, but also you turn around and you can see Nala with her feet up, right? You could see the little white dress. Like you're seeing when Ria was out here, how far back were you?
I was like medium far back, because it's like my inner world is dark and hazy right now. So it's just like it's a little fuzzy, but I could see stuff.
Well,
So
just practice stepping further back. If you want to get a more distinction of it, practice stepping further back. Like even like if Nala's out and if you trust her, or if Anya's out and you trust her, like who do you trust to be out? And then go as far back as you can and keep pushing yourself further back and see if they can interact without you. Like just and that you can be far enough away to not be influencing them. Like that kind of thing. Because it's really you that has to test this.
okay,
Nala's like, hey, I have my own self. I don't know what her problem is. I mean, that's kind of what she, but it's you're the one that's thinking that you're the same as everybody else, right?
right.
So when someone else is out, like whoever you pick from several, pick different times. When they go out to the front, put yourself as far back, and then you might even ask, like, say if Anya's out, because you trust Anya, right? I know you. She's
I trust Anya, yes, because she's
okay.
the. Oh, that's what I meant to tell you. In family session, when I was doing my consult, I learned that Anya is the protector.
Yes, yes. Well, they're kind of all protectors, but how does Anya protect you more than the others, or differently than the others?
I don't know, but all like the only thing I said to the family therapist is that Anya's the protector. So that was new.
Okay. Okay. Well, yes. Well, they all will all protect you in certain circumstances. I kind of like that's a vague, but there will be certain ones that have that like, hey, don't mess with my girl. They'll have a little bit more that that protector feeling of, and they will step up in front of you on purpose in certain search situations and stuff. So, but I think a lot of dissociative parts are protective of the person. Now, not always, because some of them, you can get a complete different feel from, but for sure. Okay, so but if you trust Anya, she's the one to try this with, right? But also because she's clinically minded and stable, and she's not going to do anything too wild and crazy, right? So you can trust her more, right? So when she's out front, let her be out there. Scoot back. You could even try it today while she's in session, depending on how you feel about this and who your session is with. Scoot back as far as you can and scoot back. Like you might even ask Nalo, can you make a chair for me even further back, like a place further than you normally go. Go further back. You might even ask Nala to take you, like hold my hand and help pull me back more, leaving Anya at the front. And the further back you are, see what it feels like for you.
Okay.
Okay. And then, or you could even do it. You can see what it's like in a session. I don't know if you want to try this with a client, but I mean, or you can try it like on a video. Try it with a video or something. Have Anya reading something from work, or have her doing something. But it just see how far back you can go, and then invite Anya to be doing things while she's up front and she's got control of the outside. Ask her to do a number of things that she's trying to not let you see.
Okay.
Like to specifically not let you see what she's doing. Like whatever, she can write a note, she can flip a page corner down. I mean, anything. Okay. It doesn't have to be a big thing. She can move the coffee cup, whatever. She can drink the water, something that she doesn't want you to see. So that, hopefully, if you can step far enough back, then we'll see if you actually can notice. What are the 5 things that Anya did to change this picture, and then you can see if you actually know it or not. Or also when you go inside and you pull yourself back, turn around and not look.
Okay.
Like specifically, and turn around, not look, and like try to not look. Try to close your eyes, block your ears, and then see if Anya continues to do anything. Like can she continue to function out there, or do you turn, or does the whole body turn and not do anything?
Okay, I could try that. I think that would be really helpful. Also, I gather that one last question, and that would be that I feel that I have a very dangerous alter, an angry alter, and I have to figure out. I have to figure out if it's one of the alters that I already have met, or if this is a new one of the 15, or like remaining.
Is that somebody who helps you kickbox? I got to see your kickboxing, which is pretty awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm pretty talented in kickboxing. But
does that?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, see that, yeah, because sometimes if you need to kick, if you need that boom, like where does that anger come from? Like where does?
From the hatred of people that piss me off, that I really want to punch and sometimes stab. I won't actually stab anybody. Like.
Okay, but is that you feeling that, or is this the angry alter you're talking about?
A problem? Like that's like, well, I think that's the alter that also kind of says like ha ha ha, like that, like has that very creepy, like manipulative, like looks dead into the thing and just like has like I you know which one I'm talking about. The one that's like just like looked straight into the camera and was just like very just like maybe I'm just like manipulating you, and I can't even do it because like it was very different. But I feel like it's her. And I feel like she probably could have homicidal tendencies. And that's scary.
All right. Well, hopefully, hopefully those are just feelings and not actions.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's just like those are just feelings, like deeply rooted in anger, because um like even thinking about like murder or anybody in there, if I just think about murder, they're just kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So collectively they all reject it. They agree on the anger, collectively they reject murder.
Right. So the exploring though is why is she that angry in the first place? Like, what's her need to be that angry, and what has she been hurt, or does she know of people who have been hurt that in order to create the need to feel that angry at people?
I will ask that.
Yeah, because if there's not a like that level of anger comes from somewhere, it doesn't. If it's not your natural feeling, it's going to come from.
Okay, I can ask that.
She might be a protector of others who have been hurt. Like how Anya might be a protector of you, but the angry one may be a protector of others who hold more trauma.
Okay.
I don't, because you're not overcome with trauma information, but doesn't mean that somebody else isn't.
Okay. I do have a 4 p.m., but
yes.
My family therapist is also not a DID expert, so is it okay if she reaches out to you to kind of consult about me via email? Because I did sign a release of information for her for you.
Sure. Just send that to me so I have a copy of it, and sure, of course. Sure,
okay.
I'm sorry, I wasn't realizing quite what you were saying. You have a 4 o'clock, but I was looking at my time thing. I'm thinking it's only 2:30, but that's how much time we've been talking. This 2 hours.
Yeah, it's okay. And then.
So, yes, of course, and we just stay in touch as we do, because
yeah, I think I might be.
Next time I should be able to get my appointment with you quicker.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I was a little bit nutsy this last week, but I'm.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more consults now that I can actually financially afford it a little bit more than before, but probably. So I think So we'll talk more. I will send you the copy of the release that I signed for her.
Okay.
And then I'll let her know so that she can reach out to you.
Okay. Okay. Sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, go gather your head.
Yeah, I got to go put on a different shirt. So
shirt, get on you to the front.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Become your professional self.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Well, bye-bye.